Alright, roll it.
Alright,
I'll give you
survey
advantage
says...
because he's in your face.
Yeah, an advantage not going to help a 3.
In fact, it is. You don't hit him, you don't slash him, but you knock him to the side as he wasn't ready for that blow.
Right.
Alright, Skaith. Every item you have taken so far,
Mm-hmm.
relay it to me because I didn't take notes. One by one.
That's a lot of stuff.
Well, you don't even have to tell me just what items are they. I don't need to know the specific gems or whatever.
I've got
Because I've got
2
certain
things of cloth,
cloth. Okay.
the
So,
drinking horn,
no,
Ari,
no,
dragon talisman.
yes. That
Okay.
actually begins to glow, and you can feel rage building up inside of you. You believe you can dispel this rage, or you can harness it.
Harness it.
Alright. Extra go with advantage.
11.
Alright, with advantage you hit this guy. Roll for damage. 2d6.
D6, 2d6. I've
2d6.
got a 2 and a 6, total of 8.
Alright, how do you want to finish this guy off? There's no way this guy's living through this. You are enraged right now.
I want to cleave him straight down the middle.
Alright, what was your sword made of, the adamantine?
Yes.
Alright, your sword goes through this guy like warm butter.
Ugh.
This cultist is filleted into 2 perfect pieces. And falls in this really gross slump. Now you can move anywhere you would like, as well.
I want to...
Do you need a reassessment of what's going on over here?
No, I know what's going on. They just got... these guys over here were just flung. Her hammer is in them. Come on, where's the... There it is. These guys were just flung.
Big guy's still got the statue.
Yep. This guy over here is disoriented. She's not going to be too much of a problem right now. But I would like to try and get as close to these guys as possible. Kind of like right around here.
Okay,
As close to there.
you can get right up on him. Go for it.
Alright.
Okay. Now it's Saber's turn. She'll try and finish off this one right in front of her with a 10, just barely makes it. And a d6 on a 2. We'll put this guy on the board. Strike him once good with the pickaxe. He's down to a 70. Alright, bad guys. Okay, the next in line was the one actually fighting Saber. An 18. I said did not like that. And we'll strike her for a 5. She's getting pretty cut up here. She's down to 55. What does Dizzy Guy say? Dizzy Guy rolls a 1 and just straight up falls flat on his sword and just completely just guts himself. He is bleeding out slowly.
What am I fighting for?
The one with the pole inside of it will try and use it like a javelin, kind of, well, more like a jouster, and kind of spin around and just smack you with it. With a 15,
That's gonna hit.
it knocks you only 1 square.
Okay.
As you're not really, you're in another realm right now. You're on another level. Of course, it didn't take any damage. Now, big guy. All right. Big guy rolls a 4 and will screw his options and begin to take flight. And will now begin to hover about here, still trying to make his way to the... He'll be right about here. He's trying to get to the throne. That's evident.
Yes.
But Saber's fighting with this guy right here and is a little bit in his way. But he is now just like 10 feet off the ground. He's out of reach.
Right.
Alright, Rothwell will do her best to just shoot him out of the sky. With a horrible 3, misses. Florentine does not have a weapon anymore. And shouts out, "Should I use magic?"
Try it!
Alright. She uses a 10 and misses and tries with these blue fire bullets. Now, the fact that she missed does not excuse her. Well, guess what? She rolled a 5. One blinding white light later, she disappears. She is
Eh.
gone. Alright, Skate, it's your go.
I want to try and rush big guy.
How so?
Wait, no, I can't because he's still 10 feet up in the air.
Hang on, how so? You're raged right now. You're a little overpowered kind of deal.
Well, how is this guy here? How is he?
He's
Could
fighting
I
with...
use? Could I use him as a springboard?
If your dice roll's true, I'll give it to you.
I want to dive my sword into the big guy and use this little guy as a springboard.
Roll an acrobatics. I'll give you advantage.
Okay, I'm going to use one of my actual dice instead of the one of my actual physical dice and pray. 16.
Good enough. Now roll to hit big guy.
That one I'll use the 12.
I'll give you advantage. You just make it. You run up and springboard off this guy's shoulder. Somehow you've leapt up enough to get a foothold on his shoulder. You practically feel like you've curb stomped him into the ground as you push off of him. You stab a knife your sword right through the back of the big guy. As he just to the ground, both of you, just straight up to the ground. You land right on top of him. He still has the statue in his hand. Even though you essentially have impaled him, he is going to start flapping wildly and do his best to screw savoring it and get this statue in the slot.
Mm-hmm.
Right, at this point it is Saber's go. She rolls a 13 and will just straight up finish off this guy here. You've practically crushed in his shoulder, and she will use her pick. And with a 6, this guy's down. Bad guys! Right. One left, rolls an 11 against Rothwell. Rush up, slash her a little bit. She's down to 45. Alright, confused guy will try his last and rolls another 1 and just he's done. Dead. Dead.
He pulled the sword out too quickly.
He did. Just completely guts himself. Big guy rolls a 16, manages to somehow shake you off and somehow get past Saber. He is right here. Anyone want to do anything before he just straight up puts this statue in the slot? Any quick thinking?
There's nothing I can do. I can't use magic. I'll get ported. Well, I might get ported, and I don't have any projectile magic. I've got the ball of moss still. Cat, get off me. But other than that...
At this point, Saber and Rothwell will kind of just shout out, "Just throw something at it!"
Alright then.
Since you're the only one who can actually go legally at this point.
I will just straight up chuck my sword at him.
Roll it.
16.
Alright, somehow you manage to pull your sword out as this guy scrambled out from underneath you. You do one more magic chuck as it goes right through his head, practically pinning him to the entire sarcophagus itself. His body goes limp, wings as well. Alright, Rothwell will do her best. Roll a 15 and just straight up finish this guy with one large crack over the head. He is not dead, but he is unconscious. How do you unconscious? Good enough. Okay. That is all the evident danger. Saber quickly runs over and pulls big guy out of the sarcophagus and just kind of tosses him to the side. Alright. Do we want to do a 50-50 to see if this thing has made it in the slot? Or to see how this magic affects it with a general roll? Or do you want to just try and figure out the lore and see if, well, what you think would happen? Because he had it in his hands, he's right up on it, and you basically pinned him to it.
Honestly, because I pinned him to it, there's a chance that the statue dropped into the hole, but that would be exceptionally precise. I think we need a generalized D20 to see if it worked.
Okay.
Or if it did that.
Would you like to roll a contest, or just want me to roll a flat-out D20?
Just a flat out.
Okay. 19! Whoops, my dice did not lie.
Shite.
It's not in there perfectly, but somehow it's in there. The the sarcophagus's eyes glow. The entire room begins to rumble.
Can we remove the statue?
You can try. You can try all you like.
I would like to try.
Okay, how would you like to try and remove it? Brute force?
Brute force. Hopefully I am still pissed and the rage is
You are still enraged. I will give you advantage.
I'm gonna try and brute force it just out of there.
Okay.
14.
You managed to rip this thing out. The statue still glows.
Uh-oh.
At this point, everyone notices that the ceiling is dustling. Dust is falling from the ceiling. You look up and notice that the ceiling is revolving. Everyone looks up. Well, does everyone keep their positions? At this point, Rothwell and Saber are going to kind of run to the middle of the room away from this throne.
I want to run also and kind of try and get as close to my puppy as possible. I need to scoop him up and...
Alright, you can get over to him by the time everything happens. No one knows what's going to happen. You kind of believe this place might be coming down or who knows what. So everyone's kind of generally running towards the door. At this point, the unconscious cultist will kind of come to and try and start crawling towards you. He's hurt, but he's crawling as best he can. He's saying something. At this point, the ceiling has rotated and is now a giant mirror. From your vantage point, you can now see the giant mosaic tile pattern on the floor. Makes a figure. Does anyone want to go ahead and flat out figure out from everything you've seen thus far what you think it is?
I'm going to guess and say that...
You believe Saber may have some other information? You can ask her a question or two before whatever happens, happens. She did in fact tell you that these runes, she was kind of deciphering these runes, but you never looked into what kind of runes they were.
Saber, what do we got? I have a good idea, but I need her.
I'm afraid you're going to have to be more specific, player.
What is this pattern on the floor? Have you seen anything like it?
Well, everyone can look up in the mirror and now see it. Well, Skaith, I want you to actually... I want you to really figure this out metagame-wise. What have you learned so far?
I have learned, first and foremost, that these mirrors act as a portal.
Okay. What about the murals? What have you learned from the murals? That's what I'm taking away right now. Hieroglyphs.
I have learned that these particular hieroglyphs are,
Showed two key figures.
yes, and one queen-ish. The two individuals, I can only presume, were probably fighting over. I just recapped all this. The two wizards, or cloaked individuals, were fighting, probably over power.
Okay.
And whatever they summoned or did or whatever caused this desolation.
I don't know if it'll help you anymore, but would you like to roll general? Well, I'd say you can try your best at historic, or mm, just scripture in general to see if anything finally clicks to see if you've seen these runes before, because you have previously met up and had an adventure with a friend a while ago who
Yep.
specialized in these runes.
Yep. I want to roll.
Okay.
Is that a 7 or 17?
17.
Okay.
Unfortunately, your rage is wearing off, so you're not going to get advantage for that.
Right.
You may remember, quite a few adventures back, you started off your entire heroic adventure and business, as it were now, with a certain character named Zanzo,
Yes.
who had a knack of reading scriptures and magic of a certain type. Because he wasn't human, was he?
No, he was not. So I cannot. This is not going to be a benevolent god. This is going to be the opposite type.
You now see that in this giant mirror, the floor patterns out among the corpses now and the blood and whatnot. The very beautiful mosaic of a brass dragon.
Uh.
The entire floor begins to shake. The floor begins to erupt in a sea of broken tiles. Well, your two friends here are going to do their best to get away from the center where everything is happening right here.
I wrap up my puppy in one of the cloths or in just the basic cloak that I took off for the chain cloak.
All
I
right.
want to wrap him up in that.
Okay, you do so. While you're doing that, I'm going to have to ask you to close your eyes because you're not physically looking at this thing.
No problem.
Alright, the viewers are going to be able to see it before you do, but the fact that I need to resize it is the issue. At this point, your friends are pretty much telling you need to look at this thing. As you stand up and turn around, you are met with this horrible sight of this right here.
Oh, Lord.
The skeleton remains of what is easily identifiable as a brass dragon. He erupts out of the ground of the tile with a mighty roar. Would you like to roll for dragon lore?
Yes.
Go for it.
13.
Alright. Here's what you know specifically about brass dragons over any other type of dragon. That they mainly thrive in a desert environment. They are highly intelligent. They love to talk. Would rather talk than do anything else. They are very selfish. And their main breath weapons are sleep gas and fear gas. At this point, Saber's completely shocked, and at this point, she shouts out, "Bronze and brass! Bronze brass dragons!" Rothwell will now kind of give this half notion, "Well, I think this is the losing brother."
I would have to agree with you.
This poor little cultist way kind of right in the back here who's really practically thrown by all this. Will do his best to say something, but I'm gonna have to move him so I can get to him. Is just downright flattened by this thing. As it tries to stretch out its wings, it clatters a few of the chandeliers. And obviously now notices the three of you are here. Saber says, I'm more than willing to go.
We can't necessarily leave it though, because if it leaves, it might be the evil dragon, or a. Oh man,
Alright.
you said this was a bronze dragon.
This was a brass dragon.
This was the brass one. The brass one had smooth stones and decor, so it might actually be the nice one and the evil brother one. And it likes to talk, so I'm gonna try and talk. Wait, I can't speak Draconian.
This thing looks at you three. It easily looks at you, Skaith, first, since you are holding the statue. It appears to be looking at you with its eyeless, somewhat corpse.
Right.
And everyone is quiet and has no idea what to do. This thing just stares you down. And just in a mighty voice that no one was expecting, just shouts out, Speak! Ruffalo will kind of... Go on, go on.
We came here to return this statue. We were unaware that it would wake you from your slumber. Might we ask, if it's not too much trouble, what occurred here? As the runes and the story is in a language we cannot understand.
This place is full of lies. Me and my brother ruled this land and created a paradise. But my brother felt that the good of the people outweighed the good of the land. I did not wish to share my treasures with the common filth that inhabited these desolate plains.
So I can presume that you and your brother warred. With obviously your unfortunate loss.
We'll take a few steps closer. You know, you can do this. And what makes you think I've lost? And the magic dice says a 16, as this door over here is kicked off its hinges as Florentine bursts through and stops short seeing this giant skeleton dragon. Nope! And runs right back in the door.
It's obvious now that you have not lost, as you are here and he is not.
He is in a different place. Tell me, Skaith. At this point, Rothwell's like, he knows your name! What are you doing with that trinket there. And why do the three of you wear my treasure?
I will be honest with you. We found the treasures in these ruins.
Saber will quickly hold a hand out, kind of to stop you. We thought they were your brothers, and we were taking it from his right. We wanted to turn them into you.
Correct. For all
Scale.
intents and purposes, from the murals, it seemed like your brother won. And we thought that was unfair to you. As most of these that we do have came from rooms with his mural on the wall.
You can see this massive skeletal beast seems to really be, in lack of better words, overpowering. As he also looks about and asks, "And what of these birds?"
They were under the impression that by obtaining this trinket, as you say, and placing it in the tomb, they would gain control of. What was it they said? I can't remember the name they kept saying. They thought it was a god. They were taking orders from someone in order to revive an ancient power, they stated, and that would give them control to do whatever it is they pleased.
I see. So tell me, what do you expect to do with my statue?
To be perfectly honest, I do not know. My mission was to return it here. I have returned it. What is to happen now? I set the statue down. Is I was hoping to leave here with my friends alive.
Not too absurd of a request. And I suppose that elf is with you as well?
Indeed she was, as any time we tried to defend ourselves using magic, we were ported to other rooms.
Hmm. So tell me, I would gladly let you leave if you return all of my wealthy desires, statue and all. If I am able to share some information with you. You kind of look over, and your two companions there, like, yeah, sure, sounds good.
It would pain me to leave these beautiful items, but our lives are much more important to me than
As
treasure.
soon as those words rumble off your lips, this thing really ducks its head down to get closer to. They're not yours.
And as I finished, I will gladly leave them. I just stare down the skull, unafraid.
I see you try to be courageous, Skaith. You do try. But will trying be enough? I sense I sense a troubling party in your future, full of deception beyond belief. Will trying be enough then? Or will you muddle for the usual?
I start unpacking every treasure. The only way I'll find out if trying will be enough is again if I try.
Saber, you pride yourself in your abilities to make friends, but you find yourself at times where friendship isn't always the answer. You are wise, you are intelligent, but you lack a common between all shared beings, and that will be your downfall. At this point, Rothwell will kind of push past you, me next, which the two of you instinctively try to grab her like, don't you dare!
Yeah. It's like, Lottie, don't.
As always, happy to life, as happy to death you'll be, young Rothwell. Nothing can break your spirit. Seen happy by all those who've known you through this time and the next. You will soon face something not happy. Not happy at all. This thing cranes itself around to look at the door that Florentine just instinctively ran back in. And Cecilia, Saldrin, Florentine. How could I forget you? At this point, she will actually come to the door, kind of try and stare this thing down. You believe you're above it all, when in fact, you're only above what those put you as. You suffer from what is expected of you. And before you all leave, this thing cranes around. As pretty much at this point, well, sorry, Florentine will quickly run around and try and gather up with the rest of you. As troubling as you find these things, you must rely on the honesty of strangers to get across impossible tasks. Everyone is obviously taking everything off, all the treasures, and just dumping them on the floor in front of them, respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
The creature says one more thing. Being as you have not caused me any inconvenience, I will answer one question of each of you, if you wish. This thing somewhat bows. Everyone is kind of afraid to talk or is either contemplating something.
Do we have anything to fear from you if we leave? As in, are you a danger to the world?
Danger is a vague term. I am dangerous to many, and all who may encounter. But if that is your question, I pity it a waste. So I will remain here, as stated, by these walls. Alright, at this point the other three will look to you and say, if we all get a question, we can make this important.
Honestly, I'm just glad no one else is going to lose their life unless they encroach upon here.
At this point the three of them will actually start actively asking you, we can really get something really world changing out of this thing if we ask the right question. We've got 3 questions left.
Well, what is the right question?
Well, it can answer anything. I guess it doesn't matter, but don't just waste it like you did.
I was more concerned with everybody else. I'm sorry.
At this point, everyone's kind of contemplating something important to us, something really active.
What are the void wraiths?
The what? Rothwell says.
I should have asked that.
Rothwell says, I'm good if you want to pick that, as long as someone else picks my question.
I look over to the other two.
They're still contemplating. They say, I guess that's one, whatever. Is that really important? They look to you.
It is.
Rothwell will spin around. What are the void kites? The what? She says. The what?
Wraiths. Wraiths.
The void wraiths. Mr. Dragon, sir. This dragon will actually toss and turn its skeletal head, its bones clicking in its neck as it does. The creatures of the void. I have not heard of them for many a century. They are beings from among the cosmos, and seek only what is otherworldly to them. Rothwell turns to you. Does that work?
I just nod. That's actually a great deal more of information than I had before.
Florentine and Saber are really figuring out. Do we need any? What kind of? How important are we talking here? Saber seems more focused on still trying to figure out if there's a way to investigate the rest of this dungeon without upsetting this dragon, of course. He says, is there a question we can coexist or something? Can we work out a deal?
Ask him if it's possible for your group to study the ruins more, so long as no one touches anything.
That's kind of hard to do. That's just walking about. If doors are locked, we can't get anywhere.
Okay, well then, so long as no one steals anything.
At this point, everyone really starts noticing that Florentine's really... She's out of character. She seems very pale, very scared, and very bothered by something.
Oh, here's another question. What is the Silver Crown? mentioned in these ruins.
Saber said, no, that's the mother's crown. That one's easy. Don't mess with
Okay.
that. Florentine's really like she's about to have a fit or something. He looks over. Are you okay? What's up? Florentine says, did I ever tell anyone how much I fucking hate dragons? Everyone looks at her. Whoa, where did that come from?
Florentine, if you... Why don't we just ask Lottie's question?
Lottie looks at
Lottie,
you.
what was your question?
Lottie looks at you. She's visibly scared. I forgot it.
Does his brother have a dungeon we might be able to loot?
Ooh, I like that one. Rothwell says, we can use that one.
Well, also, we'd be able to use that to get revenge for him, you know? He might be more willing to divulge that information.
That sounds fun. Rothwell says.
Well, let's use that one then. As this is your home, dungeon, tomb, do you know if your brother has one that we might be able to pillage for ourselves on your behalf?
My brother seeked a different company after this place. He seeked a mentor he studied under. A certain being of a higher power named Ixok.
That's it! I just have a moment of realization. That's what the cultists were chanting. They wanted the power of Ixok. They thought by bringing the statue here, they would be able to control that power.
At this point, Saber looks at you like, no it wasn't.
Wasn't it? Ixok, that's what they said. Ixok crows, and they do.
Saber says, they were saying, Edis, something, Edis, Rothwell says, Edis Leka, I think. What's an Ixok? Skaith, do you need some metagaming
Wait.
here?
No, I thought it sounded familiar. I actually remember what that one is. Ixok. That was... Was that not the person who invited me to the party?
That is, in fact, the person you have been talking with through the purple ink and the cosmic stone on your wrist.
Yes. I knew it sounded familiar. I just don't have all my notes in front of me. Ixok, he was the one who invited me to said party and wanted to know more about the Void Knights.
Yes. He is undesirable, but my brother regarded him highly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, any last question? He looks directly at Florentine. She's not having any part of this and just takes about 5 steps back.
Right?
Come, don't. Just don't. It's not. Don't offend him, Saber says. Just think of something stupid, something. She's not having it. She's not having it.
Honestly, I
if
think
you
we'll pass.
don't want a question, get out of my dungeon and get out of my land.
Then we shall leave. And we leave.
Right, this thing follows you straight up. Wait, I'm gonna delete your dog. So is it okay?
Yeah.
As you guys straight up just
Book it.
out the same door you went in. This thing is
Yes.
right here at the door behind you, watching you leave.
Mm-hmm.
Well, get out the door, and the door closes behind you. You just hear the rumblings in the room. You are not even sure what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
We just leave. Just leave.
Alright. You do your best to find your way back. Make it back to the stairs. All the way back to first level.
Mm-hmm.
Back where everything was prior. You have no issues finding ways back immediately to the front room. Back up the steps. Back outside. Florentine's the last one. She is still visibly shaken. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did that.
I just let Florentine hyperventilate and keep tending to my puppy.
I can't believe I did that. Rothwell looks really concerned. She's like, "Hey, what's up? You're not like this." Trying to figure out what's up with the elf. Saber's trying to take this all in while eagerly scratching down things in her notes.
Right?
You just hear Rothwell, "Oh my God! Florentine, what are you doing?" You look over and Florentine has a ring in her hand. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did that.
Florentine, did you steal that from him?
I can't believe I did that. Rothwell just rips it out of her hands and chucks it down the stairs.
Good.
Okay, I know you're greedy, but girl, that was bad.
That was dreadfully bad.
Nothing seems to have changed. The four of you begin to make your way back to the Sky Warden as easily where it was, left on the shore. Everyone greets you and you introduce your new friend. And as easily as it was, it's hard enough for Saber to say she pains herself, but you begin your journey back home with new answers and plenty more questions.
Indeed.
Alright guys, that was the Desolation of Suiliita. And, well, looks like next time Skaith might be headed for a party.
Fun times and more questions.
Plenty more. Alright, as always, we've been your people here at Diet D&D, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.